Cheers, guys. Let's drink. Yes, show. Today it's a fully packed video, and I'm so excited to share to you. And maybe some of you already seen this the full video of it, but for me, it's very important to share to you how I feel like, how what I thought about with the recent Q&A done by our Mr. Corey Wilton in the official Pegaxy YouTube channel, as you can see here on the photo. And yes, it's a fully almost an hour question and answer that he did. And I have like 16 pages notes just trying to remember everything that he mentioned there. And it's around 40 questions overall that he tried to answer and explain. So obviously I won't repeat or mention all of them. I'll just showcase here what I think was really relevant or something that most people are wanting to know. And without further ado, let's start. So obviously the number one, the top most of us, anyone involved in Pegaxy, is the burning mechanism plan. And Corey admitted in the video that obviously he has Axie Infinity, and he mentioned the other game as a benchmark on how to model the burning mechanism, because obviously they've learned a lot of lessons from those two games. And he mentioned a few burning mechanism that Pegaxy is planning to implement, and one of them, as we all know, is the stadium, upcoming stadium. And he mentioned that in order for you to own a stadium, you need to burn or kill 500 Pega horses. So can you imagine it? That's a lot. That's a lot. And for me, this is really good. However, my only worry is like, who among us have 500 Pega at the moment? Yes, there are a few guilds, but I'm not really sure if they will really go into this path, or is the stadium really worth the 500 Pega to be killed? For me, as a suggestion, if ever Pegaxy will view this video, I think, make, because again, this is a good burning mechanism. Once you kill Pegaxy, maybe make it a bit lower so that some small time investors can also afford to, own a stadium and eventually sacrifice their horse. I'm suggesting maybe like start with like maybe 50, and then you have the 100, and then you have 250, and then you have 500. Maybe you can do the stadium in different sizes, where like maybe the 50 Pegas can only accommodate a certain amount of races, something like that. At least this way, the small time investors can also afford, and obviously killing Pegas will be a good burning mechanism. He also mentioned about the prestige system, where if you breed horses up to the max breeding number of 7, you will have a new horse, which is with a different, I forgot what he mentioned, what he explained about this rare horse that will be produced after you maximize the 7 breeding of the Pega. Okay, so you can see that more on the so again, this one obviously encourage breeders to maximize the breeding system, because at the moment we notice, because of the amount of Pega, PGX and VIS needed to breed from 4 to 7 is really massive, and it's not viable anymore. So now they're trying to introduce soon a system where if you maximize the breeding, you will get a good Pegaxy that is better. And now I remember that that Pegaxy that you will produce, prestige, there's even a rank 1, 2, 3, where it can also produce or win PGX, not just VIS token. So that's pretty good. And then obviously the list to breed program, where I also had a full video about this. If you haven't seen my full video about this, discussing and simplifying the other vlog of Mr. Corey. Please watch that from my channel. Basically, this is like a contract between the owner of the horse and the renter or scholars, where they go into a contract, and then the owner will set a specific target of this that the scholar or renter will need to achieve before they do the breeding. So it's a pretty good initiative as well, or burning mechanism, for so that scholars have a chance to own a horse as well. And then he also mentioned about the buying food, where you can enter into a different race, different from the usual race that we have, with higher price pool. So he also mentioned everything about that. So again, it's also coming soon. So it's a really pretty good plan so far. So someone asked about where he thinks Pegaxy will be in 6 months' time. So obviously he said it's hard to predict, because obviously there's so many variables, like the number of players coming in, or the growth of players, the number of horses generated, tokens minted and burned. So he said there's a lot of variables. So who knows? Who knows? All they can do is keep building and delivering these plans that they already announced. Someone also asked about horses are overly populated, mainly because they can be breeded after 24 hours straight away. So obviously most breeders are breeding hoes. So Corey said there may be future balancing or flipping in the future. Someone asked about the sustainability of this price, and obviously they're scared that it may keep sliding as well, or will it just keep moving up. So Corey explained that obviously expect movements, because more players coming in, more VIS minted and PGX, but there are also burning mechanisms, etc. So he said he cannot guarantee that there will be a specific fixed price or fixed direction of the VIS token. And then someone asked if there will be a chance or a time when players can control the horse during the race, because as we all know now, once you click that start button, you have no more control. And according to him, at the moment, they're not really planning or trying to implement something that is dependent on the stats of the horse or a control, because their main goal is to give everyone an equal chance of opportunity, and they don't want that the more expensive horse will going to win more. So I guess this is a really good way of keeping the game so far, because again, yes, he has a very good point there. It doesn't mean that you have the cheapest horse will be the least favorite in the race, and vice versa. All right, maybe more, especially the scholars, this one is the one of the major concerns that they have, because obviously they asked Corey what's the ideal share profit for the owner and the scholars or renters. Well, according to Corey, the one that he currently saw in the marketplace at the moment is 30% or less, and he thinks this is pretty good, because he said, based again on Axie, where scholars usually get 50%, 60%, or 40%. They said the tendency is, if more scholars or renters will generate or mint more VIS, the tendency is they will usually sell, and it's a selling pressure to the price, which means what? More sell means the token will keep going down. And yes, it's sad to say that this is his stand, but I must agree with him, because most renters and scholars tend to sell, well, for obvious reasons, that they need to cash out. The second is like that lease to breed system is not yet viable, but once that lease to breed contract will be implemented, I guess at least scholars will have a chance to own their horse. This one, I'm so interested with this because I've been waiting for this. Someone asked if they will eventually list the two tokens, PGX and VIS, into some major exchange, like obviously Binance. Corey said maybe once a daily active user will hit a specific number, possible that it will be listed. But he also specifically mentioned that he may consider the crypto.com because they're one of the early investors. And when I heard that, I'm happy because I had some CRO tokens, which is in crypto.com. And I'm happy with this exchange as well. I have a account with them. So yes, I'm pretty sure with the growth, with the sudden explosion of this game, I won't be surprised if Binance is already approaching them for a potential listing in Binance. So we'll watch and see. Obviously, everyone knows what will happen then. Actually, Corey mentioned about this. He don't want sudden um, rise or fall of the token. So if this thing will come in the future, they will announce so that people will not just buy in one day and suddenly the price shoot up. So they will give enough notice. So I like that because I also want to have some PGX before it hits the major crypto exchange. All right, this is another thing that me personally I want to know. How does the horse stats affect the game? Does it mean that you have a higher percentage of this and that will mean more guaranteed to win? Well, he said he doesn't want to reveal now for the reason that again he wants everyone to have an equal opportunity. Although he gives some hint about those percentage could have an effect on the race course depending on the that there's usually some icons below the race course with like icons of water and sun. So no one knows everything about them, how they correlate with the stats of the horse. So he just doesn't want to reveal that at the moment because again he wants everyone to have a equal chance. And in relation to that, so since it's not related to the stats, the win of the horse is not related to the icons below the stadium. So how does horses win then? He admitted and confirmed that it's still through random number generator. So it's like I don't know. It depends on your timing. Maybe each race they already preset a random number who is first, second, third. So it's just a matter of timing when you enter that race. Okay, so someone asked about what will happen once Pegaxy becomes so big that possibly there will be 1 million horses out there. Another question related to that is, will the VIS slide to as low as where SLP is now? And we know that it already hits three digits as of yesterday. Like I think it already went down to 0.009. So obviously a lot of people are worried that eventually VIS will become like this. So Corey just said time will tell. It's hard to predict, but all they're trying to do is initiate and make the and try to envisage and try to incorporate a lot of burning mechanism. And I won't show here anymore. That's why they said their priority now is to hire so many game developers so that obviously they want to build as fast as they can and try to implement all these burning mechanisms that they've been telling. Okay, so someone asked if they will eventually make the breeding cooldown longer because obviously we don't want so many horses straight away. And he said yes, in the future it may increase and they may even add more PGX because at the moment it sits at 30. So they said it could be double, it could increase as well. Okay, so this is luckily guys my question was also answered, which is this: if there will change the breeding VIS requirement at the moment. And it's just funny because he said he cannot pronounce my name. So I'm so sad he wasn't able to pronounce my name. But if Corey, you will watch this, you can pronounce it as Kikapi or Kikapi. So it's up to you. So he said no plan to increase yet. So if you know that breeding table that they have, it will still remain the same. And I have the second question as well being answered, and he just repeats again. I still cannot pronounce his name. When will be the Pegaxy app to be launched? And they're targeting Q1, so we have 2 months left. So it could be Feb or March, but I have a feeling it's Feb because they already brought out the leak in the Discord server. All right, this is another thing. This is another big thing that everyone wants to know how they will combat the bots. This is true for that share profit renting. It's very hard no matter how fast your fingers are, your computer. It's so hard to get a horse, and obviously because there are a lot of bots that's being connected to that, so obviously we cannot compete with them. So he just mentioned about reverse engineering where they will revise the interface of the system so that owners can directly select from verified users. So there's a plan that they will KYC users in the future. So it means they will need to verify, which is, I think, pretty good to eliminate those bots. Okay, actually, this is not the word that the person who asked this is. He didn't use the word boring, but he just said it's not. There's no excitement because obviously, once you click the start, the horse will just go on a top view, and that's it. So he just want to know if there will be change in gameplay. And obviously, Corey said this is just we're still the Pegaxy is technically still on the beta stage. It's just launched 2 months ago. So he said a lot will be developed. Obviously, the 3D now is really looking good, and but currently just available for the higher bloodlines of horses. Okay, this one I am so keen to hear about this. If they Pegaxy will be planning to have their own decks or own payment system and tokens swapping and buying and selling. And he said he's happy with the Polygon network because of the cheap gas fees. So there's no plan yet, or possibly it's not one of the priorities. So that's what he said. And then another one which is highly requested is the swap feature to avoid scams. You know, when you want to swap your horse from one to another. He said yes in the future, but unfortunately he didn't mention how soon. But I think this is one of the needed feature at the moment because again, there's still middlemen and some people got scammed. So yep. Now my verdicts. But before I gave my verdict, guys, if you find this video helpful, please share, please subscribe, and let me know what are your thoughts. Have you seen the full video from Corey? I highly recommend guys to watch it, even if you're not an investor. Well, more so if you're an investor, but just for you to have a knowledge of what the developers are doing in the end. Verdict number one is I'm very happy that Corey was able to do this Q&A because he was able to address the concerns of the community. And for us, that's really, really important. Most of my questions that I usually just ask in the Discord server are already answered here. Although not all of them I agree, but at the end of the day, I'm still very happy that I know that they're listening. I know that they know the problems. I know that they're looking into something that will resolve some issues like the swap feature. Obviously, the most important thing is the burning mechanism. That's why I'm very bullish, guys, with this game. That's why I'm so into this game because I've seen that they're really spending time, that the technology, the game itself is developing, and they're trying all their best so that you know they've learned so much from Axie Infinity that they don't want that to happen as well. Okay, so I fully support all those burning mechanism that they want to implement, and I think that will really help the economy of the game in general. So what else? Yes, I'm happy that they're keeping the breeding uh, fee, and they will adjust if needed. So pretty much I agree with everything that they mentioned here, except probably that that RON index. Maybe they don't know that it's really hard to transfer USDT from your other wallet going to the Polygon network. Yes, I must agree the Polygon network is really good than Ethereum because of the gas fee. However, it's still very tedious, to buy a horse, you need to do this, that. Like the process is so tedious. And if you are new one and you want to convert, you buy a Vis or Matic or PGX, the process is too long with going from this wallet and swap to the other. I think for me that's very important that they should have, to eliminate those mistakes as well, especially the newcomers who are not really into technology or not into computer, just making it easy and faster for the people who wants to get involved. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. These are our social media pages. Please support as well, and we have a lot of we have daily promotions for those who wants to become daily Pegaxy renter. Please support this video. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think of all those answers given by Corey? To Corey, thanks a lot. That's that Q&A. I hope you do it like every month. That really helps and gives confidence to us who are involved into this game. And I really look forward for more Q&As like this. Thank you so much, guys. Let's go and race.